So the good news first. Here's the good news. This is basically done, other than the bad news, which I'll get to in a minute. But we now have a board in a box with the indicator light and override button on the top, the power input on one side, the power output on the other side, and it's all ready to go. You can plug these things in, and if I can make sure the cable's not upside down, you can plug these things in and you can do the thing that this was designed to do. Except there are two pieces of bad news. There's the secondary bad news, which will be really obvious here when I try to demonstrate this. It's not working, but that's a very simple problem. The process of unplugging and replugging and shoving things around, I apparently loosened the USB connector, so I kind of have to push and hold on this if I wanted to make contact. So yeah, it's intermittent, it's not working. The connector is broken off the board. Not a big deal. This is a homemade PCB, and that USB connector, the first one I put on, micro USB connector, I tried to make sure that it was really solidly on the board, and I soldered the little hold down tabs, and I got solder inside of the socket, which made it completely, the tolerances on this are so tight that if you do something like that, this will never plug in. So I had to actually take it off the board, in which process I lifted 3 pads, and then I had to put another one on the board, and then I had to put a little tiny piece of magnet wire to jumper it across. So this thing is a total hack on top of a hack on top of a hack, and I knew that it was going to fall off at some point. So it was just a matter of time, and it finally fell off. And boohoo, that's too bad, because it would have been nice to have, a working, I might even be able to get it back on, but that's not the point. The point is, the primary problem here, the primary piece of bad news, is that there is a problem with my design. The clever thing that I thought I did to make this light come on red and then switch to green is not correct at all. There's no path for the red light to get to ground, and I'll talk about that in a future video, but as a result, I have to do a redesign on this board and figure out how to solve that problem properly. I've been trying really hard because making these boards at home is a big effort, and so I've spent days carving these things and recarving them and coming up with new fixturing systems and stuff. And then, as I said, it's very easy. These are not the same as a factory produced PCB, so it's very easy to screw up these pads. It doesn't have solder mask, hard to work with, but it does beat the turnaround time, and that's why I'm doing this, because I could have designed my board, sent it off to the factory, waited whatever it is, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, get the thing back in the mail, then connect it all up and find out that I made a mistake, at which point I have to send it off again. So this way I can validate the thing at home and find out that I screwed up without waiting weeks. And so anyway, I don't want to talk about the details too much because that's not what this video is about. Mainly I was kind of happy with this box. I'm totally not a mechanical engineer, and it's just making a little box like this thing goes into was a long process, but much faster to 3D print one of these than to carve and solder up one of these. That's a full weekend. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna do a video about my mistake and how I'm going to fix it, and we'll keep working on this thing until it's done and finished and working properly. See you in the next one. Bye.